What's happening, guys? Vango Vapes coming at you once again. Another review. Pastime e-liquid, if I can get it right. I don't practice this stuff, folks. I really don't. If you guys have never tried Pastime e-liquids, it's from a company called Premier e-liquids. That's pretty much their parent company. Now, if you've heard of Brew City ejuice or No Name, this is what I'm talking about, okay? Some of the same stuff from the same company, different flavors, of course. If you guys got the opportunity to see my No Name ejuice review, you know this stuff was coming, but I've got two of the lines coming from Premier that I'm going to be doing on top of this stuff as well. So first of all, traditional soda fountain flavors coming with Pastime. The Fountain, the Classic, the Dream, and the Cream, okay? So we're going to go through each and every one of these with you. First of all, the Fountain. Loveliness, okay? So the Fountain is touted as a creamy root beer and vanilla ice cream float. Absolutely love this one. The stuff that I'll say about the cream is that the base of it is definitely not massive. So for a dessert-loving vapor such as myself who likes the deep, rich, decadent stuff, don't expect a smack in your face with a huge amount of cream. It definitely comes through though. So I'm not going to give it too much crap as far as the consistency is concerned because the profile pretty much stays the same. A good solid root beer flavor on this stuff. Typically, I don't go for a lot of the soda flavored vapes, but the one thing I'll say about this stuff is that it is top notch, bar none, right down the middle. Okay, so you get that nice effervescent flavor in the back of your tongue. It's a nice blend, a decent mixology between everything that's working in this stuff. It really does taste like a straight up root beer float. Now, I'm going to be honest, I would have loved to have seen the cream flavor on this stuff just up a little bit. I think it really would have given it that extra oomph. But the profile and consistency is right down the middle on this one. It's just neck and neck. So, like I said, I'm not going to knock it too much, but if you like your root beer floats, which I don't know who doesn't, you're really going to dig this stuff. So we're going to put this back in the bottle if I can figure it out. The Classic is the next flavor, and the Classic is pretty much your typical cherry cola flavored vape. So one thing that I will say about this stuff is that it somewhat reminded me of those Luden cough drops you used to steal from your grandma's house when you were a kid. Some people might see that as a knock. It really isn't because it brought back a lot of nostalgia for me. I used to love that stuff. I thought they were candy. They never really helped my throat, so I'm going to say it just gave me a really familiar feeling inside. I think the blend was good on this stuff. The cherry was very candy-esque, if you will, blended really good with a solid traditional old school cola flavor. So really solid on the inhale. You get that effervescent taste once again, and on the exhale, a nice dissipation of cherry flavor. A lot of people out there don't really like cherry blends. My wife can't really stand cherry candy anything, so I always get the kick down. It's a horrible thing, I know. But moving on to the next flavor, we're talking about the Dream. Now this one, if you couldn't have figured this out already, this is a crisp orange soft drink with a scoop of vanilla. So pretty much your typical creamsicle flavor here. Very, very old school traditional flavor. A lot of people love this stuff. I don't know who doesn't. I'm one of them. Really good solid orange flavor on this. Tart and tangy, nice sweet dissipation, and of course you got that light cream coming up just high enough to hold everything together. So on the inhale, a little bit of an orange cream. On the exhale, the cream kind of dissipates, and that's where I'm saying that the cream could have been brought up just a little bit more, just to kind of give it that extra bite, you know, that kick in the butt that just brought it across the finish line. But the profile and the consistency were rock solid on the Dream. If you like your orange creamsicle, man, if you like it, who the heck doesn't like it? You know what I mean? You'll dig this stuff. A little bit light on the flavor profile and the palate, but not enough to get in a twist over. The Cream is the next one. So I'm not even really going to insult anybody with the flavor profile of that one, but just for kicks, typical cream soda flavor, guys. Okay, I was raised on solid cream soda. You got your A&W, you got your mug. Makes me want to drink some right now. Absolutely love cream soda. My favorite soda ever. But it was very light in flavor. So dripping it is pretty much the best option as far as flavor quality is concerned, okay? Huge cloud production on this, and I don't even know what the VG to PG ratio is. So I'm going to think anywhere between a 60-40 to an 80-20. So that's not really the problem. The problem is that the sweet factor could have been brought up just enough to really make the cream pop. So Maybe for the sweet, I'm going to give it across the board a 4 out of 5 on that one. I know this was really quick, but really, man, how much do I need to go into 3 minutes for each and every flavor? You know what I mean? This is a pretty basic lineup, but the flavor quality is really where it's at. So let's get into the rating system of this stuff. Far as the consistency goes, which is pretty much what tells what's in what and how much of it goes into each bottle, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, which is pretty high in terms of actual expectation. And my expectation is, of course, if it's in the profile, it's going to be in the consistency. Well, it doesn't always work that way. So because the cream flavor on at least half of the flavors here were so low, that's where the 4 out of 5 is coming in. So the profile, on the other hand, which usually follows the consistency, gets a 5 out of 5 because majority, everything that was in the description of the flavor profiles were in the flavor. So the profile doesn't get knocked just because the consistency does. As far as cloud production is concerned, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. Like I said, I don't know what the VG to PG is on this. It's not on the box, and I don't have the information cards with me because I didn't get them when I got the flavors. But it's really solidly high, really good amount of cloud production. Now, granted, I'm working on a TFV8 coil here, octuple coil, so it's busting out the clouds, but the flavor and the cloud production is definitely top notch, so must be a high VG. As far as throat hit, absolutely nothing. So they use a really good nicotine extract in this, plus these are only 3 milligrams each, guys. That's about all I can do without keeping my head up in the clouds, if you will, no pun intended. But the sweet factor is pretty much where it's at on this one. And that one was kind of tough for me because each and every one of these were still pretty sweet. But I'm going to give it like about a 4.5 out of 5 because I think that if that cream, once again, were just shoved just a little bit higher, it definitely would have made all of these flavors stand out, at least just the ones with the cream in it. So that's why it gets the 4 out of 5, because not everything has a creamy profile texture underneath, you know what I mean? So Pastime Craft ejuice from Premier E-Liquids, definitely worth a shot. Give them a follow on Instagram and social media if you haven't done the chance, haven't had the opportunity to try any of these flavors. Definitely recommend them. Give it your own assumption, guys. That's all I ever do here is give my opinion based on a ton of experience and knowledge. People that I work with in the industry, you know, I've been very blessed in the opportunities that I have. I want to pass that stuff on as much as possible. So if you've tried the Pastime, put it in the comment section below. If you've tried anything from Premier E-Liquids, definitely let me know. So I really appreciate your support on this one, guys. If you dug this review, please stay tuned. I've got a lot of good stuff coming up, especially for the year of 2017. Definitely hit that subscribe button on YouTube. If you dig it, spread the word. Give me a couple of likes every now and then. Really appreciate that kind of stuff. Check me out on Instagram, guys. I've got some boss giveaways coming up for the year of 2017. One advocacy raffle / giveaway coming up in January. It's going to be a really big one. 100% of the proceeds are going to go towards advocacy, plus you'll have the opportunity to win some really cool stuff. Keep my post notifications on. Click on Instagram to check out all the details for that stuff. It's a huge prize package, and it's growing bigger and bigger and bigger, guys. I've got a New Year's giveaway coming up here pretty soon. I think you guys are going to get a lot out of that one as well. Pastime Premier E-Liquids, thank you very much for sticking it through with Joe of All Vapes. I've been sitting on this stuff for way too long. So this is Joe of All Vapes, guys. Your eye in the vaping sky, even in the vape cave. Wishing you to stay humble, love yourselves, love each other, and you keep it cloudy.